there, thank you for joining me. My name's Louise and this is Louise's Lifestyle. Today I visited Parrswood Environmental Centre, which is not far from where I live in Didsbury, Manchester, and today they had another plant fair. I have featured this place before in my videos, but today I bought some more plants from there, which I'm going to show you. Only a little tiny amount of plants, and there was a bric-a-brac stall. They sell jam, they sell cakes and the books, all kinds of things for sale, all second-hand, pre-owned stuff. And the second part of this video, please keep watching, because I'm going to do a little walk through the greenhouse. So the greenhouse is in 3 sections. One section at the end is the tropical zone. The opposite end is the cacti and succulents, and sort of a Mediterranean type temperature. And in between they have the section where they do a lot of propagation, where they have their geraniums and hibiscus, and most of the plants that they're selling are propagated in that section. So please stick with the video. So start off with the first plants that I bought is this. I got this coleus, and it's an aromatic coleus, so it doesn't look like the normal coleus that you buy, you know, for your bedding plants section. This is an indoor plant, and it has a faint herby smell. It's kind of a mixture of sage and maybe a bit of oregano and eucalyptus, so it's got a weird sort of smell, not an unpleasant smell. So I thought that was quite nice, you know, and they've got velvety feel to the leaves. And this was £1.50, so not bad, you know, it's quite an established plant. I've not had this before, so I'll put this in isolation first, because it's been grown inside the greenhouse. There are sometimes pests lurking, although it might not look as though it's got anything. I will isolate the plant first, probably keep it in my bathroom where I don't have any other plants. Keep it in there for maybe 4 weeks, and then if there's no pests apparent, I'll let it join these other plants here. And the second plant is an outdoor ornamental grass, and I think this is called, oh, I can't pronounce the name. It says Ophiopogon, I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. And as I say, this is an outdoor grass, and it's lovely black thin leaves, and it'll go well with my other, I've got some other ornamental grasses. I've got blue grass, and I've got a variegated grass. So this would look really nice in a white pot, or maybe with white gravel, to make the black stand out. And that costs 50p. So it's not bad, is it? You know, 50p. In the greenhouse, the cacti and succulent section, I will point out where I got this from. So this little cutting, they weren't selling. They had lots of plants for sale. I didn't film the for sale section, there was too many people around. But they had some aloe veras and some like the rosette type of succulents for sale. But in there they have this lovely, like a jade plant. I think it is a jade plant, but it's got a different colouring to it. The jade plant normally has a deep green, but this has got like a sort of a bluey, silvery bluey colour to it, and it was quite a big plant, but I couldn't see any small plants for sale. So I asked the ladies, one of the ladies there, and said, will you be selling that next time, you know, cuttings of that plant? So she came along with me to just see which plant I was talking about. And then there was this little plant was growing around the base of the main plant. So she just pulled it up and she gave it to me. I said, oh, thank you. I said, how much do you want for that? She said, oh, just a donation. So I gave her 60p for it. But it's got little roots on it. So this plant I will isolate as well, because I say, even though it doesn't look as though it's got any pests, they're very, very tiny. When things like mealybug, they start off so tiny you don't realise they're there. So I'll probably give this a little bit of a spray and keep it isolated in the bathroom, you know, away from all my other plants. So there is the little cutting. So not bad really, £2.60. So £1.50 for that, 50p for this, and 60p for that. And then I got a couple of books. One of them's a cookery book, and it's a Weight Watchers book. And I know somebody who's part of Weight Watchers at this moment, and I think they would appreciate this book quite a lot. So I only paid £1 for it. It's really good condition as well. It's got, you know, the leaves, the pages are nice, you know, they're not dirty, they're not dog-eared, they're not ripped or anything like that. So it's a nice book, and it would have been £10.99 had I bought it new, but £1 for a good condition book is a bargain. And the second book I got was this, The Armchair Book of the Garden. It's sort of a strange title. The author is Dr. D.G. Hussain. So there's this chap here, and the book it's got a number of different things in it. I've just briefly, it's got plants in it, but it's got bonsai, birds of paradise, living columns, all different types of plants in there. But it's also got a section on the people, prominent people who have been at the forefront of gardening, you know, over hundreds of years. So there's that section there. So there's a section on people, which is going to be interesting to read. I'll just take the jacket off this because I don't want to rip it as I'm thumbing through the book. And then at the back it's got how to make a pomander, using obviously, you know, cloves, posies, how mazes are made. And then this section, which I thought was quite interesting, what's in a name? And it's sort of saying what does genus mean, and what does species, and what's the common name. So that'll be interesting reading as well. And grow your own, different types of gourds there, and gardening down under. So anybody from Australia might find that interesting. The Secret Life of the Butterfly, and Ye Old Gardening Tools. So it seems to have got a variety of things in here. So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading that. And this only cost, well, originally the lady said £2 for it. So I put the book down and I just took the cookery book. But then I went back afterwards with my friend because she wanted to buy some books. And I was showing her this. I said, this is £2. I don't really want to pay that much for it, but it does look like an interesting book. So she just turned round and asked the lady, would you sell it for £1? And then she sort of hummed and hawed, and then she agreed. So I got this for £1. So not bad really, it's quite a bargain I think, you know, an unusual, not your run-of-the-mill gardening book. So now we're going to get to the greenhouse section and the orchard. So please keep watching if you want to see what plants, what fruiting trees they've got there. So I'll pause the video and jump to the next clip. So here we are at Parrswood Environmental Centre in one of their greenhouses. It's sort of divided into three. This is the tropical zone, lots of different plants here. We've got bird of paradise in full bloom, and we've got pineapples, we've got cardamom, which is a type of spice used in Indian Asian cooking. So it's a native of southern India. And we've got pineapple there, you can see one fruiting. And they do sell these pineapple plants. These ones are in ground, but they usually have some in pots. But they didn't have any left today. And these are pink bananas. So I did manage to get a pink banana last time I came. And had lots of seeds in it, but none of them grew, unfortunately. This is a spiral ginger, and today I actually donated a couple of seeds to the this greenhouse, the environmental centre, the mame sapote and some Hawaiian papaya seeds. I also donated a small pink guava seedling. So I have donated plants in the past here, and they've got the ideal conditions for them to grow. And I've got the Ada lebu or Citrus pennivisculata donated last time I visited, and that seems to be growing well. It's in another section of the greenhouse. Hopefully they can germinate the mame sapote or shofada and the Hawaiian papayas. If anyone can do it, they can, because as you can see, they've got all kinds of tropical plants in here. It's like a very mini Kew Gardens. Got calatheas, philodendrons. They did have a musa, acuminata, but I don't know what's happened to that, and they've died off. This is a shrimp plant. Got a kapok tree in here, and various monsteras as well. This part is the succulent and cacti section. It's also got a large hibiscus here. Now, the little cutting that I showed in the first part of the video came from this plant here. So it's quite an established plant, you can see, and it's very pretty. And next to it you've got the giant agaves, and there's some jasmine, and there's another type of cacti, I'm not sure what that is. Got an epipremnumorium or golden pothos, devil's ivy, skinned apsis, whatever name you want to call it. And as that's growing up a moss pole, the leaves start to get bigger, so I'm hoping mine will do the same. This is a jasmine, and then along the back there they've got various sort of propagations of the cacti and succulents. So not all of them are for sale, and I was lucky to get that little cutting as they didn't have that. So outside here we are in the orchard, the greenhouse at the back there, those buildings, and there are lots of different varieties of apple trees. I don't know the names of them, so if you're an expert in apples you might be able to guess what they are. But these are very well established trees, and you can see they're not very tall. They've been pruned to have low branches so that they can easily pick the fruit. So they're not very tall, quite accessible, and lots of fruit on them. Many varieties here. They're over, I would say they're over at least 40 years old, probably older than that. So lots of different varieties of apples. They will have an apple picking day in October. So there's not just apples here, there's some pears and some plums. These apple trees have been trained to form like a fence. This is a good way of I think they call it espalier, I'm not sure, or it's cordon, of growing fruit when you've got little space. So, you know, if you've got a small garden, maybe this is something you might think of doing. If you wanted to have an apple tree, you could train it in this fashion. So, thanks very much for watching, everyone. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Share with your friends. Thank you. Bye.